Hi, I'm Tyrone. I currently work as a cybersecurity analyst. This video is going to be more of an introduction on how I got into the field, how I got the position that I'm in now, and a little bit about the direction of this channel. So ever since I was young, I knew I wanted to do something with computers. I was really into video games at the time, so I wanted to be a video game designer. Leading up into the end of high school, I decided that I wanted to major in computer engineering. So after graduating high school, I ended up going to Daytona State, which is a state college here in Florida, and I completed my associates before transferring to the University of South Florida. Highly recommend that for anybody going to college, just because it definitely saves you on, money in the end if you have to take out student loans. So it was just an overall a good move on my part to just limit the amount that I would have after graduating. Anyway, so as I'm looking over the classes, the curriculum for computer engineering, I noticed that there was like calculus 1, 2, a lot of math that, I wasn't about that math life. I would say I'm pretty good at math, but not to that extent. So the next best thing for me was information technology. With the information technology degree, it was more of a general degree that touched on, various topics in technology, from networking to cybersecurity, mobile security, etc. So in my circumstance, I was the first one in my family to go to college, so it was definitely an adjustment period. I kind of went there with, I guess I would say, the wrong mindset, just because, looking back now, I would have definitely, took more opportunities to network, join more clubs, just get more involved overall. So this led me up to a dilemma leading up into actually graduating, just because, normally people have, internships throughout their, their time at college, but I was going into my senior year, no internships, and I'm just like, ooh, this might be bad. So I ended up graduating, no internships, no job lined up, but luckily while I was in college, I was working at Busch Gardens, and also I had a job at the post office, so, I had 2 jobs, and once I graduated, I was able to secure a full-time job at the post office. A small note about the post office: I was a mail carrier, delivering mail on the daily, and while it was a stable job, it's considered a government job, so it was a really good opportunity for me at the time. I knew that it wasn't what I wanted to do. A lot of it came down to, working, 12 to 13 hours a day, depending on the volume. During peak season, you can work anywhere from like 10 to 13 out of the 14 days in a 2-week time frame, and it really just took all of the life out of work-life balance for me personally. So I knew that I wanted to obviously get a position somewhere that would be within the field that I went to school for. So in the meantime, I'm applying to places. I'm not really getting any responses. Looking back again, because hindsight is 2020, I think a lot of it had to do with just I would say the way my resume was structured, not really knowing that, you have to, obviously do, you don't really need experience to get experience. You can make your own experience, projects, etc. So that was really, I would say, it kind of took a toll mentally in a way, just because, you're seeing everybody that you went to school with, they're getting jobs in their majors, while you're, although working at, a good job, it's not what you want to do. So it was the fall of 2020. I ended up signing a lease to an apartment with my friend, and we ended up moving in together with 2 of the roommates. Funny enough, one of the roommates happened to work in tech, specifically cybersecurity, and once he found out, that I had a degree in information technology, he kind of laid out, a plan for me, per se, to, study this, study that, make sure you know this, and, you'll do fine. You'll be great at it. So that kind of really motivated me to, actually like put in the work, study, and just really like, grind towards this goal of getting that position. So, leading up to July of 2021, I decided that, juggling the post office and studying, that I just wanted to devote all my time to actually, studying and really pursuing this, this opportunity. So I ended up quitting the post office, which was, I would say, definitely a big risk, just because I didn't have another job lined up. I only had savings for about 3 to 4 months. But it was something in me that just said that, like, put your all into this and it'll pay off. So I every day would essentially turn studying into my job, and I would study. I would sit at the desk in my room, which I'll probably include a photo in this video. I essentially posted the sticky notes of the salary of the position, just to keep me motivated, because although it's not about the money, you have to be passionate, just because you have to continuously learn. So if you're not passionate, you're not going to continuously learn, and then you're going to fall behind even if you get in. So, but the thing about putting the sticky notes up for me was, I think at the time the most that I made in a single year was around 32 to 34,000, and if I was able to successfully secure this position, I would have doubled that salary. So it was definitely life-changing for me, and that kind of pushed me forward day by day. So I would literally sit at the desk, I would put classical music on, just because I'm usually into rap, but whenever I'm studying, like, having extra words in the background just doesn't really mix. So I had classical music on, and I would just sit at the desk and I would just read the Security Plus book. It's the gold one, just from front to back, taking notes, and really just understanding the different foundational concepts that you would need to have to be able to get into the position, get through the interview process. So it's, I would say, late August of that year, and Jose would check in every now and again and essentially say that you don't need to know all of this. Don't be afraid to just apply, take the chance, and then see what happens. So it came to a point where I was like, it's either now or never. Savings going down, I'm not working, obviously still have to pay bills, and we ended up one night after he got off work, we sat at the table, he went over the structure of my resume, and then I ended up sending off my application. He ended up referring me, and then I would say it was a couple days later where the recruiter actually reached out to me, and we set up that initial like phone screening interview. So after going through multiple rounds of interviews, and on that last day, I think it was a few hours after the last interview, I ended up getting the call from the recruiter, basically congratulating me on getting the position. And I would say that moment kind of sticks with me the most, just because it's like, it was a very, I guess, real life personal point of, if you're willing to put in the work, then you can achieve anything, which is very cliche. It's said a lot, but there is some truth into it. So as far as this channel, essentially it's just going to be a lot of cybersecurity content, my point of view on different news, questions that anybody may have, just in hopes to, inspire people that may be looking to get into the field, maybe interested, or just want to know more about certain things. I feel like in these last 2 years, I've definitely learned a lot, and still learning, still willing to learn from others. So, you know, that's the majority of what this channel is going to be about. You know, if you have any comments about anything, any questions, feel free to leave those below. And yeah, I'll look forward to more content coming soon. Thanks.